Hello, nerds. Thank you once again for watching Generally Nerdy. This is your Weekend Nerdom Video Games Edition for the week of February 5th, 2018. This week in video games, we're talking about, I can't even say it with a straight face, Shaq Fu. Forza Motorsport 7 has freebies for you guys, and of course, we have to talk about Injustice 2 things. We're gonna get to all of that and more, but first...
Quiet on the set, rolling.
Hi, I am Bitsy Telek.
Hey, I'm Hale Appleman.
I'm Walter Kane.
I'm Rene Aubergenois. Odo on Deep Space Nine.
Michael Dorn, Lieutenant Commander Worf, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Come and see me and hear me and talk to me and listen to me talk about myself.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, often considered generally nerdy, and you are listening to what is often considered generally nerdy.
On Generally Nerdy.
You're listening to
Generally Nerdy.
Generally Nerdy.
Generally nerdy.
Before we jump into the news, I have to make an announcement. We got our first $5 patron over on the Patreon. Patreon.com/generallynerdy. Our first patron is a man who goes by the name of Marty. Thank you very much for your $5 a month, Marty. This is the point of the video where I would, now that I actually have some $5 patrons, should they submit something that they want to discuss in the episode, this is the part where we would do that. I have yet to receive any requests for topics, so I'm just saying thank you very much, Marty. This episode is brought to you by Marty. Forza Motorsport 7 is where we're starting this week, and it's out, available now. If you do not already have a copy, then I felt like this was really interesting because we don't see this very often, and I'm thinking that, so let me, before I get ahead of myself, the news bit is that you get, if you have an Xbox One X, you get a free vehicle in Forza. I don't know if the vehicle will be available for the other version, for the Xbox One standard version, but if you have an Xbox One X, you get a free Ford F-150 Raptor that has a really interesting theme about it. But that's not what's interesting to me. I mean, that's really cool if you like Forza. If you're a car guy and you play the Forzas, then yeah, for sure, that's really awesome. I'm not a car guy. I don't really play the Forzas. But I just think this was interesting because we had the announcement a couple weeks ago that they're going to start focusing on their first-party IPs, and Forza is first-party. Forza only exists on the Xbox. So is this like just a preview of what's to come? Because if that's the case, I'm excited for the next Halo. Who knows what we're gonna get? Anyway, like I said, it is available now, so go check it out if you like the car games. Next, we're moving into Shaq Fu. Show of hands, who had a Nintendo, or a Super Nintendo rather? Yeah, all of you guys probably kind of at least once rented Shaq Fu. When it came out that year for Christmas, my stepbrother got a copy of Shaq Fu, and we're just gonna leave it at that. It was bad. It was so bad. I'm a fighting game guy. I love fighting games. There's only been 2 fighting games in the history that I've just went, I can never play this again. Shaq Fu was one of them. But so we just got, it's getting remade. I didn't catch who the game designer, what company is doing it, but it's getting remade. There's a teaser trailer, link in the description, and it looks like, and I could be wrong, I could be just seeing the teaser trailer stuff, and maybe they're like bonus rounds or something, but it looks like it's changing from a fighting game to an action-adventure beat-em-up. Or maybe a platformer. I would imagine it's an action-adventure like Streets of Fury kind of thing, but... And why Shaq Fu? And Shaquille O'Neal is attached to it officially again. He did a song. I don't know if it's an original song for the game, but he was rapping over the commercial, and it's an official commercial. and it's got his name built into the title, and so much stuff. Go watch this. Let me know what you think. We'll definitely have this discussion. I just thought it was very strange to remake such a bad game. But maybe it'll turn out good for him. Who knows? Next up, we're talking Far Cry 5. We did get a new trailer thing. Link in the description, so if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it because of the Far Cry series. I've said before, I don't really like war simulator style games, but that's mostly for like Call of Duty, like World War II, World War I, kind of that kind of stuff. Or even Desert Ops and any of the modern warfare stuff. I don't really play those either. I do, however, really like the Far Cry series. I'm just amazed at the depth of those video games. And Far Cry 5 is not going to be any different. There is going to be, you will get a remastered version of Far Cry 3 when you get Far Cry 5. I think I read that it was exclusive to the digital version of Far Cry 5, but I could be very wrong on that. But this new trailer, not really a trailer, kind of more, I mean, it is fairly trailer-y, because we get some new stuff in the trailer, but we get to know the antagonist, Joseph Seed, the cult leader. We get to know him a little bit better in this trailer, which is its main purpose, I think. But it looks like they slipped in some new hand-to-hand combat stuff. So did they revamp? There was no announcement that they were going to revamp that the controls for hand-to-hand combat, but it looks like that might be a thing. Super excited for this game. That's all we got on it right now, though. So let's kick on over to our last bit of news for this week, and it's kind of speculative, but also some definite updates to Injustice 2. We get the Captain Troll of all trolls, Ed Boon, tweeted some images. 2 video game stills and 1 GIF, or GIF, or however you want to say that. GIF, 1 moving picture. So the first picture he tweeted was Raphael, rather. You can't really tell because of the lighting. It could be red, it could be orange. But one of those 2 guys is holding a pizza, and it says Caution Toasty, which is a nice little homage to the original 4 Mortal Kombat games. And then the next one was definitely Mikey fighting, I believe, and you'll see it here, and I'm not looking at it right now, so I can't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's Black Manta. And so Mikey is fighting Black Manta, and Raph is coming up over his head with a skateboard in his hand, and that's the other still image. And then the GIF that we got was of Raph kind of doing the lazy or the still animation. So when you're in game and neither person is pressing any buttons, the characters will do an idle animation. And so that's probably what he's doing. So this leads to all kinds of speculation. Caboose XBL is a guy I watch on occasion on the YouTubes. I'll put a link to the video where he's talking about this as well. Points out a very interesting thing is, so, and then I saw somebody else on the Twitters mention the same thing, and I don't know who said it first, but I saw Caboose first, so I'm giving Caboose the credit. Anyway, the thing that they pointed out is that the moving animation, the GIF of Raph, the gear that he's wearing is nondescript. He definitely has the red bandana over his, or the red mask over his eyes, but the elbow pads and the knee pads and his belts are all nondescript. They're all a gray color. And there's no R in his belt either. So, and then if you go back to the original announcement trailer and the image of Raph jumping over Mikey fighting the Black Manta, then you'll see that their elbow pad, or Raph's elbow pads in that picture, and then in the announcement trailer, all of their elbow pads are their corresponding colors. People have been speculating that perhaps that has something to do with how you customize their gear, maybe it has something to do with their traits. I honestly think that I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. I think that there's going to be, you select your character, and then you have so you can have like 5 different loadouts, right? So I would imagine that whatever color. All right, so I'm getting a little ahead of myself. There was another thing that's come out. It's leaked audio for the update, and it has all of the dialogue for all 4 turtles. So they hired somebody to voice each different turtle. And they also have the announcer voice announcing each one. So Michelangelo wins, and Raphael wins, and Donatello wins, and Leonardo wins. They did that individually. So this is my theory. And it's changed slightly from originally, because originally I was thinking they were going to somehow have the 4 turtles on the screen at once. My theory is the gear loadouts will dictate what the announcer says and which audio dialogue plays. So, and the reason I think this is because with any of the other characters who have alternate skins, so Raiden, it's very specifically Raiden with Black Lightning, the dialogue for the 2 of them is very, very different. And they're the same character. So I would imagine that their moveset is going to be relatively generic and is going to be dictated by the gear set that you have on. This also opens up the possibility of them adding other turtle characters in future updates, or even potentially unlockables when you go through and get all their gear. Like, we could get Metalhead, we could get, I can't remember the other mutant turtle guy's name. Or even potentially Master Splinter could be thrown in there. I really feel like the still of Raph jumping over is to my assumption is going to be a combo where you have, if your character is Raph, then it's another turtle that jumps in, or it's a random turtle every time who comes in to help you with the combo. But I really feel like, judging by the way they've handled multiple characters in the same set before, that's how it's going to be. Is you select your character, and then you select your loadout, and that loadout is Mikey, Donnie, Raph, or Leo, and then you get combos where the other turtles jump in to help you with the combo. I just don't know what they're going to do for special moves, and I don't know what the character trait is going to be. So let's talk about theories for all of that stuff down in the comments. But if you want to go deeper into the conversation, jump over to the website, generallynerdy.net is where you can do that. You get all the freebies, you get all the links to the social medias, all the stuff is going on. If you want to contribute, if you want to add to this conversation in a more positive and contributive way, then jump over to the Patreon. Patreon.com/generallynerdy is where you can do that. You can jump on for just $1 a month. You do not have to jump on for $5 like Marty did, though again, I thank you incredibly much, Marty. If you are new to the channel, click the subscribe button. If you like this episode, click the like button. If you're listening on the audio, leave me a review. If you're watching on the YouTubes, let's talk about anything you want in the comments section. If you're running behind on your nerd news, you want to catch up, click or tap right there to the left of my head to do that. But first, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.